painting some furniture, a small table and this little unit here. Now these haven't been too bad, they're fairly straightforward. This one has been waxed, so really obviously these are being matched, but if you do have existing wax furniture, better to leave it wax. Less maintenance. Once you've painted them, you've got to keep that process going to keep them looking good. Whereas these will sit for years looking fine. Any knocks and dinges very easily repaired and just a wipe over with wax. So you can tell when you feel the actual surface whether it's wax or not. And then also with a bit of sandpaper, you try and sand it, and only a couple of times there, and you can see the wax. The prep on this is straightforward. Good wipe down with methylated spirits, ready for its primer. And what you won't notice at this stage are a lot of the gaps, joins in the timber, any small holes or dinges. Once this gets a primer, all those will become visible and then they will need a filler. So just an ordinary wood filler for these. You could use a 2-pack on some of these holes, which would be quick drying, or any of these joints or splits, these are joins, would need a flexible filler. Or a cloth soaked in methylated spirits and just wipe it down. You can see the wax, a bit of dirt there in the cloth. Well, that's good that you want to be able to take some wax off. And when you're doing something like this, depending what the piece of furniture is, concentrate on surfaces that are going to be used, areas like handles, around the edges of this drawer, along the bottom there, anywhere where it's going to take any wear more than anywhere else. Obviously the legs may not take as much wear as the handle and edge of the drawer and the surface. So more rubbing, more methylated spirits on these surfaces. That's ready for its primer now. I've put this piece of furniture on my paste bench and I'll put some lining paper over the paste bench. Just make it easier to work on, because what I want to be able to do is all these edges, anything that's going to be visible when you look at the furniture from a distance. Now you can see that it's not all been waxed. The wax just sitting on the edge there. So I won't be painting this bottom, but any edges that I can get to while it's upside down will get done. Also, I've took the drawer out and took the handle off. Now I'm only going to be painting the face and these edges, I'm not painting inside, just the edges. remove any thick edges. You can see the edges that I've concentrated on doing. And then on this, which is the top, just anywhere where it'd be awkward to get to. And before I can flip this over, leaving these legs to dry, I concentrated on doing this drawer. So again, the only edges I've done are what would be visible. Underneath has been done, obviously. And I've got the handle drying there, which I'll give this 2 coats. I'll let this dry, sand it, give it another coat. And the same with the face of this drawer. I've brought all the panels in on the back, top edge there, edges here. So I've only got the legs, the top and the bottom to do. Also, just inside the edge of where the drawer is going to sit. These are worked like spindles, so start with the centres. Working round. One more leg to do. Every so often you need to thin this off. Only a spot. Just make it workable. If you get this stuff too thick, it doesn't bind the same. Always taking any thick edges where they are, and with the grain, just knock them back. That'll be okay, they will always cover. I gave this edge a light sand with 240 grit. Now this is just ready for coating the top. I'll change to a 2-inch brush. That's it basically. A lot of these joints in the timber have actually filled in with the paint, so they were quite fine. Just the odd hole here and there. We'll have a look over it now. So yeah, a lot of these gaps have filled with the paint. Just the odd hole here and there. The worst areas really are just around the bottom of this, where the legs are, and then just underneath this edge, a bit of filling on there. Overall not too bad. This is now ready for a light sand and 2 coats of satin wood, and that'll be it, finished.